After setting the world record for most boulders punched in the span of 30 minutes, Chris Redfield made the jump from the world of survival horror to the world of fighting games, so he'll help you win in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Chris is best when he is at mid-range, as he lacks crucial mobility options to rush down or escape from the opponent. So if you're planning on playing Chris, you don't want to go into the opponent's space. Instead, wait for them to come to you and shoot them dead in their tracks with your arsenal of firearms. Some of Chris's pros include that he has a very high damage output with several ways to extend his combos even without assists. He can also build lots of meter when doing long combos, so you'll pretty much always have enough meter to secure a kill. Chris also has access to good DHC and THC options with his grenade launcher, so you'll be able to cover the screen when going for this. Chris also has very high health, coming in at 1.1 million, so he'll be able to take a beating and still survive. Some of Chris's cons include that when it comes to fighting enemies at super jump height, he struggles severely. Characters like MODOK, Morrigan, Magneto, Doctor Doom, or others who like to fly in the air will easily evade Chris as he doesn't have any specials that hit high up into the air. Chris also has limited mobility options, as while he has a forward and backdash, he can't air dash, so he can only use the universal movement options. Finally, Chris's moves have lengthy startup and no invincibility except for his level 3, so his defensive options are quite poor. Your spacing needs to be excellent in order to use Chris at maximum capacity. Out of Chris's 3 assists, I'd personally go with Gunfire. It's essentially a beam assist and can be used from wherever you want to lock the opponent down or to score some chip damage. Combination Punch isn't bad, but it leaves Chris open for punishment if not protected by the point character, and Grenade Toss can be used for combo extension purposes, but its use is very niche and situational, so I'd recommend Gunfire as it'll give you the most benefits overall. Standing Light is a straight punch that can begin ground combos. There's nothing special about this move. Standing Medium is another forward punch, but this is mainly used as combo filler, so it's not a very important tool to use. Standing Heavy is a big forward kick that is also used as combo filler, but this move does great damage. Crouching Light is a low kick that is used to start low ground combos. There's not much else you do with this move. Crouching Medium is a low knife attack that is more combo filler, so you won't be using this move in neutral. Crouching Heavy is a very important move for Chris, as while you won't be using it at the start of ground combos, you'll be using it as an OTG to go into a special. I'll show you how to do this later in the video when I show off some combos, so for now, just remember that this move is an OTG. Chris's launcher functions the same as every other launcher, but it has slow recovery, so you'll get punished if this move whiffs. Jumping Light is a downwards elbow that isn't very special, however in theory it can be used as a quick overhead while descending. Jumping Medium is another forward kick that's also an overhead, and it's mainly combo filler. Jumping Heavy is a downwards knife attack that does very good damage in addition to being an overhead. Use this move in combos to add lots of easy damage to your offense. Jumping Launcher is this big downward slam that knocks the enemy to the ground at the end of air combos. It's a standard air launcher without any special or notable properties. Performed with forward and medium, Chris performs Low Shot, this OTG gunshot that hits at a downwards angle. This move is used in combos to hit the enemy from afar, and like Crouching Heavy, it's important to use. Performed with forward and heavy, Chris hits the enemy with his stun rod. This move is combo filler, but it does really good damage, so always use this when starting a ground combo. Performed by holding back and heavy, Chris pulls out the flamethrower. This move cannot be special cancelled and has very poor recovery, so only use this move in corner combos when you're sure it'll hit. While flamethrower hits lots of times, it messes up the damage scaling, but it also builds meter very quickly, so if you don't mind doing less damage in a combo for more meter, use the flamethrower. Performed with down and heavy in the air, Chris performs air low shot, which is low shot but in the air in case the name isn't obvious enough. Use this move to keep the enemy at bay while scoring some chip damage. Performed with quarter circle back and a button, Chris performs Combination Punch. This move has different follow-ups depending on how you start the move, so I'll briefly cover them all. If you do light Combination Punch, you can press light for the first follow-up, then medium for the second follow-up, and then heavy for the third and final follow-up. If you do medium Combination Punch, you press heavy for the only follow-up. If you do heavy Combination Punch, there aren't any follow-ups at all, but you do get a hard knockdown to start a combo. Performed with a DP motion and a button, Chris performs Grenade Toss. The light version is a landmine that acts as an OTG and tool to stop the enemy from approaching you. The medium version is a grenade that explodes 2/3 of distance across the screen, and the heavy version is mostly the same, but you have to wait longer for it to explode, and it also leaves a big flame carpet on the ground which helps out a lot in combos. Performed with quarter circle forward and a button, Chris performs Gunfire. Light gives you the shotgun, medium gives you the SMG, and heavy gives you the Magnum, which is a crucial part of Chris's game plan. The Magnum does amazing damage and provides a wall bounce on hit, so you can easily score a combo after it lands. This is a very important move. Performed with quarter circle forward and a button in the air, Chris performs Air Gunfire. This is pretty much the same as before, but with a downwards angle. However, it's important to note that the Air Magnum is a high damage OTG that lets you continue combos, especially when the enemy is in the corner. Performed with down down and heavy on the ground, Chris enters prone position, this snake looking move. If you press heavy while lying down, you can fire one bullet at a time. This may look useless, but it can be useful when fighting characters who like to throw lots of air fireballs like Morrigan. Performed with quarter circle forward and 2 buttons, Chris performs Grenade Launcher. This move is a flurry of attacks, and if the first freeze grenade hits the opponent out of the air, it scores a hard knockdown, meaning most of the super will not connect. This move has limited use in DHCs due to its unpredictability, but it's still good to use for the purpose of keeping the enemy in check. Performed with a DP motion and 2 buttons, Chris performs Sweep Combo. This move looks even cooler than the one before, and you mainly use it after a crouching heavy OTG, which we'll get to in a bit. The shotgun portion of this move tends to miss a lot of the time, but the SMG portion right after is an OTG, so you'll be able to pick enemies up and continue hitting them with this super even if the shotgun misses. Performed with quarter circle back and 2 buttons, Chris performs Satellite Laser, his level 3. You get to move the aiming reticule around the screen and press a button to fire off a shot. The HUD around Chris is the time left until the move runs out. You want to use this move after a hard knockdown when you've run out of ground bounces to use, as this move is an OTG and it does fantastic damage. The most basic combo for Chris is a magic series, but here are some better combos to get you started. Some of Chris's popular partners are Dante, Wesker, Frank West, Spencer, Ryu, Hagar, Jill, Strider, Captain America, Taskmaster, Deadpool, Doctor Doom, and Arthur. These characters can either help Chris keep the enemy at bay for him to lay on the gun chip damage, or to help him get in and do a high damage combo. Chris's gunfire assist also helps these characters to do the same for themselves. That's all I've got for Chris in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Overall, Chris is a solid mid-range character who excels when fighting enemies from afar with his firearms that do great normal and chip damage, but he can also put up a fight when up close and personal with his high damage combos and great amount of health. Thanks for watching, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one.